So here we go. So my tutorial today is about insecure direct object reference vulnerability. It's one of the common OWASP vulnerabilities, or the common vulnerabilities that is listed in OWASP. Actually, insecure direct object reference means that an attacker or someone can access files on the system or can access objects on the system using a parameter that was not meant to access that object or file in the first place. So how can we illustrate this is by doing the following. So let's go and register here. So let's type a username test. Okay. And suppose that we are logged in or we are a member of a website, okay? And this website is vulnerable to IDOR or insecure direct object reference. So how can we go about figuring out that this site is actually vulnerable to this vulnerability? Okay, so we can do this by scouring the website for parameters that are used to access objects inside the website or inside the server. So how can we illustrate that? Let's go to profile, okay? And if you focus now with me on the URL over here, we can see that there's a parameter which is ID, and this parameter ID is used to access the corresponding profile that is logged in. So in my case, my profile is test, and this profile's ID is 14. Okay, so when I click on profile, okay, I'm invoking the view profile function. View profile function uses a parameter called ID, which is used to access the object, okay, of my profile, which is referred to by 14. Okay, so when a website is vulnerable to insecure direct object reference, a parameter, okay, this parameter can be used to access other profiles. Okay, so here, if I change this to 2, for example, I'm instructing this parameter ID to access another object. Okay, so if there is no any authorization or access control scheme to control access to objects inside the server, this parameter can pretty much be used to access everything. Okay, that's not meant to be accessed. So let's try this out. Great. So now I have got access to a profile for Anna. Okay, so now this parameter, okay, is vulnerable to either insecure direct object reference. Okay, so we can also use the insecure parameters to access objects in the form of files. It's not only restricted or limited to profiles. You can use that for files. For example, let's try out etc. Okay, so let's go back to profile. It was just an attempt, or I want to try out something, but bear in mind that it depends on the environments you are testing. Some parameters are used to access files. If these parameters are vulnerable to either, you can use the same parameter, which is used to access an image or a regular parameter or a public object to access private files like etc passwords or other sensitive files that are only meant to be accessed by admins or authoritative users. So how can we go about identifying this vulnerability from inside the infrastructure of the website? So let's go here. So as you can see, the vulnerable, we have 2 vulnerabilities over here, or 1 actually. Let's start to view the admin. Okay. Okay, so the vulnerable function over here, or the vulnerable parameter, is ID, which can be located in the view profile function. So here I'm playing around with the view profile function. So in order to identify the insecure code, I need to go to my original code, okay? And let's expand functions and go to sessions. Oh, well, I think user, okay? So in the user here, we can pretty much view all of the functions that are used to perform various operations on the website. So I can see login, register. I want to look for view profile function and see how it works. Okay, so here's a view profile function. Okay, as you can see, the function takes an ID, okay, which is the vulnerable parameter. Okay, and here a user is assigned an ID, okay, and based on that ID, we can get their profile page. And if that ID is not existed in the database, which is here, then an alert will be echoed to the page saying that could not find user. All right. So this is a vulnerable ID. There is no mechanism or access control mechanism to um, determine if this parameter, okay, is accessing the right profile or the right intended profile. So let me show you how a secure function looks like. So if I go back over here, and I'm able to see the admin page, although I am a regular user. Let's try to edit, change uh, some aspects on the admin page, okay, by using the edit profile. So here I am playing around with the edit profile function. Let's see if this function is secure or not. So edit profile, so I can see here that it's restricted access. So there is an access control scheme taking place in the view profile function. Let's go to edit profile. So in edit profile over here, uh, so let's find out where is this mechanism taking place. Okay, let me take that. I think it's echoed. Let's go to index and try to, okay. So as you can see here in the index file, I can see here switch case in which the parameter page is rotating or through these cases over here. So my case is edit profile. So I can see here there's a mechanism that um, is taking place. So whenever I wanted to edit profile, so here as you can see, it sets a condition in which if the session or if the admin is logged in the session, or if the ID, okay, of the person who's trying to edit the profile matches their original ID, then they are granted access. Okay, if not, the access is restricted. So this is the exact mechanism that should be applied to the view profile section function. So let's take this, okay, copy that, and go to user. Okay, so here in the view profile, okay, so before taking any action, I should make this comparison. Instead of if user, I should make this. Why? What's the logic behind this? So what's the rationale behind this? So in our case here, if you click on profile, I can see my profile. Okay, so if I'm admin, okay, on the web server or on the website, I should be able to audit all of the accounts. So the only person, okay, or the only person who can edit all of the profiles, who can view all of the profiles on the web page is the admin. So here, it's gonna validate if the person who's trying to view the profile is admin, or if the person's ID, okay, matches of the requested ID to be viewed matches the user's ID, then they would be granted access, or they would be able to view the profile. Else, they would say couldn't find user, or let's say in this case, restricted. Okay, let's save that and see if it works out or not. So I am now on my profile. Let's see if I can access, I know I'm not admin, okay? Let's see if I can access any profile page. Let's see a profile page or profile page user whose ID is 2. And now it worked out. See, I'm restricted. So that's how you can secure your website against insecure direct object reference. You just need to implement authorization mechanisms for each parameter that's used to access files, objects, databases, database entries, whatever. Okay, all of the parameters on your web server or in your code needs to have some kind of access control mechanism to check for the authorization of the user who tries to audit, view, or get access to the specified object. So that's for this video. Here you go, IDOR and how to secure this vulnerability. Thank you so much and see you in the next video.